What is going on, everyone? Mega here with a brand new devlog. In this devlog, I'm gonna be breaking down the shader workflow that I use for my projects. As I mentioned in a previous devlog, which I will have a card for the previous devlog up in the corner there for you. Also, if you'd like to check out the full series, the playlist can be found below, as well as a link to my Discord server. If you'd like to chat with me, the links will be below. Yeah. As I was mentioning in a previous devlog, I'm in the process of converting my shaders from Psychos to Eevee, and I don't have any new content finished yet for this devlog, so I figured in this devlog I'd just pretty much go over what I'm currently working on and just go over my shader workflow for you. So this is the newest CG that I'm working on. It's the front of the school, and so let's go ahead and compare one that I have finished already and one that I haven't done yet. So if we I want to stay in camera view. There we go. So if I zoom in and I click on this one, this is a completed one, and you can see that it's there's some good shading on it. It's a flat material. It doesn't look like too weird, and it does have like sort of a toon look to it. Versus if I zoom out and I go to this one, you can see this one looks way different. There's no good shading on it. It looks very rough. It looks too real for to be a toon shader workflow. And so let's compare the differences between them. So in this one, it uses a diffuse, a specular, and a bump. Now the specular and the bump is actually the color space is set incorrectly. So I'm just gonna change that really quick to non-color, so it's set correctly. And this one needs to be non-color as well. Okay, so now it's in the correct, and you can still see like there's no good shading on it that you would expect with NPR, and so it also uses a principal BSDF, which for an NPR workflow you don't want to use the principal BSDF because there's a lot you can change in the principal BSDF, and it causes and it like sort of degrains your output as I understand it. So if you're doing an NPR workflow, you don't want to use the principal BSDF. Versus if I go to the completed one, you see it doesn't use a principal BSDF. It just uses one image texture, and what it does is that I connect a diffuse to shader to RGB, and then I go into a color ramp. Since I'm using an image texture, all I need, I can keep it as black and white, and I just set it to constant. What I usually do is that I change it. I first set it to constant, and then I set the white to be 0.5 to start, and then I can connect that to a mix RGB and set it to multiply. And so we can now I'll go over what the color ramp is actually doing. So because we're using an image texture, what the black means is that I'm telling it I want more of the dark areas versus I want more of the white areas. So like if I hate it when that happens. So if I go, let's move over here. So if I move this down to be more white areas, you can see the shadows go away. Versus if I move this up, you can see more shadows come in. And that's exactly what I was talking about. That the black controls the shadows, the white controls the base color. And I'll just set this back to what it was. And that's what I use for if I'm using an image texture. If I'm not using an image texture, what I do is that, let's go to this one. Now this one is gonna, I have to click on this one. So in this case, I'm not using an image texture. So what I do is that I always start with a diffuse, then I go to shader to RGB, and then I go to color ramp, just like the previous one. The difference is that I also set this to constant, but in this case, the color ramp controls my colors. First, to start, if I know what color I want my base color to be, I set both the dark and the black and the white to be the same hex code, and then I change one of them to be darker. Sometimes I flip the dark and the light color, but that depends on the actual UVs and like what actually works better. So I like to experiment with that. Okay, and that's pretty much what I got. Once I finished converting all these text, all these shaders, the next step will be that I will be creating a sky dome, and I'll be adding some clouds, and to just pretty much give that toon look, and then this one will be done, and then I can move on to the next one. So yeah, that's all I have for you today, and so I will have more coming up, so keep on the lookout for that. So yeah, this has been Mega, and I will see you again next time.